When I was young, I worked for my dad. He was an electrician and he believed in doing things right, whether anyone noticed. One day, he had me dig a trench for conduit that was going to be buried. I worked all day on a very hot summer day, digging with a shovel in the hard ground. I was pretty young, tired, and honestly thought, the pipe is going to be buried underground. The trench doesn't really matter. So my dad took one look at the trench and told me, dig it again. It wasn't straight. Even though no one would ever see it, he made sure I understood. Straight lines matter. At the time, I didn't understand why it mattered. Pipe was going underground, the dirt would cover it. But my dad understood something I didn't yet. Quality of your work doesn't depend on who's watching. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't explain in detail. He just handed me the shovel and expected me to fix it. That trench taught me something early in life. You don't get to decide what good enough means. Years later, when I was a carpenter, I remembered that trench. I had crews framing walls, good people, hard workers, but sometimes the work just wasn't right. Walls out of square, corners just a little off, and I had a choice. I could let it slide, or I could make them tear it down and do it again. I had crews tear down entire walls and start over, not because I enjoyed it, and not because I was trying to be hard on anyone. In fact, since they were my crew, it cost me money. But because poor quality construction isn't acceptable to me or to all the trades that will depend on our work being level and square. And if you allow it once, it becomes the standard. Here's the truth I learned the hard way. Shortcuts don't disappear, they wait. They show up later as problems, repairs, and regrets. And the person who always knows when work isn't right is the person who did it. Straight lines matter, square and plumb matters. Not just in construction, but in how you live your life, in your habits, in your promises, and how you show up when no one is keeping score. This is what I'd tell my grandkids. Do your work like someone important is going to see it, even if they never do, because you will know. And once you're okay with doing something halfway, it becomes easier to do other things halfway too. If something isn't right, fix it. If it means starting over, start over. There's no shame in doing it again. The shame is knowing it wasn't right and walking away anyway. My dad never gave me long lectures. He taught me with expectations, and that trench followed me my entire life, from job sites to crews to the lessons I still carry today. Straight lines matter, square and plumb always matter, and once you understand that, you build everything differently. The truth of my father's lesson has followed me my entire life, and now I have passed it on to my children and grandchildren, and hopefully they will remember the lesson and pass it on as well. Subscribe to Smart Buys Real Life for practical wisdom, honest advice, and real-world experience that helps you make smarter decisions. There are products I recommend below the description. As an Amazon influencer and an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. See you in the next video.